I'm 23, I'm a young guy, but I'm at the point in my life where I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck do I actually want? Do I want ultra success, loads of money, loads of impact on the world, or do I want ultimate happiness? Because from my perspective, you've got to choose. The ultimate happiness route, from my perspective, who are the happiest people on the earth? Monks. They have to be. Surely, the happiest people on earth are monks. Bro, if you can think of anyone happier, just stereotypically happier, comment it. But I'm pretty sure monks are the happiest. Now, I've been looking into spiritual enlightenment a lot. On YouTube, this guy called actualize.org, he talks about it a lot. And obviously, you've got people like the Buddha. It just seems like in order to reach that optimal level of happiness and fulfillment in life, the people who have achieved that are these people who've achieved spiritual enlightenment. Now, the other side of the road is, like money and success and all of that. But I think we all know that money doesn't make you happy. Like, we all know that you've got depressed people who are rich. We all low-key know if you buy the next iPhone and you look at it, you've got pleasure for a bit, but then after a couple of weeks, you're bored of it, yada yada yada. But in my head, I always thought, okay, I want to make a big impact on the world. I want to make positive change to people. It means a lot. That's why I'm making this YouTube channel. But really, you have to choose which one do you want. Because Elon Musk is the type of person where he's making a tremendous impact, but his quality of life is quite shit. I've watched interviews of him. It's obvious that he's overworked and overstressed. He knows, you hear Elon Musk, he does 100-hour work weeks, and you think, that's really good, because when we're at school, we're encouraged to work. But the level of work he does is inhuman, and he says, this is not good. The amount of work I do is not good. It hurts my brain. It's bad for me. He's chronically stressed. And you hear other people talking about it, how does a human even do that? Now, as an ambitious person, it sounds cringe saying that. It sounds fucking cocky, and I hate it. But how else am I meant to convey it to you? As a person who wants to achieve something, in my head, I've only got one fucking life. I want to do something with it. And I want to do something big so I can just live my life to the full. I've got to reach a high level on something. This whole part of my life, I've been unsure of what to do. It's all about academia and everything. And now I'm out of uni. What do I do? I've already achieved my academic goals. Do I go for the happiness now, or do I go for the money and the impact? The money I don't give a fuck about, as we explained. So really, it's a competition between happiness and fulfillment in my own life or impact on other people's lives. The thing is, right, in order to have a high impact on other people's lives, at least from my perspective right now, you've got to build a huge-ass company that completely changes humanity, right? Now, I've been doing business for the last 8 months, and I've just slowly realised that I don't give a fuck about this. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy the whole operations and the whole idea of, having a team and employees. It just sounds incredibly stressful. It sounds incredibly, pointless and meaningless for me. I don't want to speak too soon, but I don't even think it's possible I'm not that way inclined. There are guys inclined, and I've met guys who are not in real life, but online in these masterminds, these groups that I'm in. And I've spoken to these people on video call or, on voice notes and everything on Messenger. And there are business guys who are just fired for business, and they just love the idea of business. You look at guys like Alex Hormozy. Do you think that Alex Hormozy, with the way that he's inclined, he could go and become enlightened and he could become a monk? No. I don't think he could be. He loves business. That's his fucking shit. Now, if he wanted to become enlightened, could he? Yeah. But after he became enlightened, let's say, he would come back and just keep doing business. It's obvious that guy loves business. Me, I love self-improvement. That's my thing. If I wasn't being paid anything and I could just live my life how I want to, I'd be doing self-improvement all day for my own sake. Literally for no other sake. I just love it. Intrinsically. And I think it really comes down to what do you intrinsically love and what do you intrinsically kind of not love. Business is one of those things that I intrinsically don't love. And because of that, I don't think I'd ever be really top tier at it. As I said, I want to get really good at something. But if it means that I have to do something that I hate, is it even possible for me to be good at it? A guy like Elon Musk, he's got this fiery passion for tech. And that's pretty much it, tech engineering. I've watched a lot of his interviews. it's obvious that he would, like, starting Tesla and like creating this thing that impacts the world like massively, and he can take the stress. He's got like these childhood traumas, you know, these things fire him up and these things push him there. And you know, and even in his interviews he says things like I have to do it. Like it's like a fucking have. It's you know, and he endures a lot of pain. That life, it just, not only does it not feel meaningful to me, it doesn't feel like something I could realistically see myself doing and succeeding in, because I don't want to do it. If things that I succeed in, and probably things that you succeed in as well, you succeed in them because you, like, to some degree enjoy them. You can put up with grueling like times, like maybe exam season and whatever, but ultimately you want to do shit you enjoy. Now, to cut to the chase, I'm feeling like enlightenment, or at least like the monk sort of stuff. I could be wrong. That this is probably the best route to the best like long-term goal to aim for like optimal happiness. Obviously, you need to do business. I'm making these videos. I'm doing business on the side. I need to do stuff to impact people, and I need to do stuff to make money. But I think optimizing for that to the maximum level is probably a mistake for me. And if you're similar to me, perhaps it's a mistake for you, or perhaps you do want to go all the way. It's, you know, this is really subjective. But man, the Enlightenment stuff, that shit just excites me. I've always wanted to know the truth. That's why I studied physics and philosophy at uni, thinking that I didn't think it would give me the truth. I wasn't that naive, but I thought it would at least shed some light on what the truth could be. And it has, and it's been fun, and it was really, really fun to learn. And I was really engaged in the classes, especially when it was talking about big, juicy, meaty topics. So I think just as a persona, what I'm trying to get at is that the type of person that I've always been, and the thing is as well, I've never thought about money. Like, money has just never been on my radar in terms of something that I really want lots of. Whereas when I was 16, I told myself I want to know the fundamental nature of reality. So looking back at what I was like as a kid, and perhaps maybe you can relate, like as a kid, obviously what I said, that's quite profound. Perhaps you didn't go that way, but like, what inclinations were there as a kid? Perhaps that could be the thing. If at age 14 you're like, I want to be rich and I want to impact the world in a profound way, maybe that's the thing for you to really pursue. If you want to know truth, if as a kid you're like, I want to know truth, I'm interested in science, you know, this is a massive mess and I'm not the person to be listening to. I'm just giving my point of view. For me, when I was 16, I wanted to know the fundamental truth of reality. I never really spoke about money. I only ever spoke about like money in terms of fulfillment, in terms of freedom. I always knew I wanted to be financially free, but I never gave a fuck about excess money, and I never gave a fuck about like owning a company. I was never sorry, the camera cut out. What I was saying is that I was never interested in money. I was never interested in money for like money's sake, and I was never interested in business like arbitrage, buying and selling, starting a company, operations, all of that. Impact has been a big part of my kind of what I want, but if I had to choose between impact and knowing the truth and being happy, so like knowing the truth and being happy versus impacting other people's lives, if I'm talking about optimizing, right? So would I rather max out my impact, or would I rather max out the truth and the quality of my own life? I would much rather max out the quality of my own life and know the truth, but then do impact like as a secondary thing, because I do care about that too, rather than optimize to fuck about impact and then kind of try and be happy at the same time. Because I feel like if you try to optimize for impact, like, fuck, I just can't see myself doing it. Can you see yourself being like Elon Musk? Can you see yourself being like a boss of a company and having employees and having stress? Because being a CEO, and Elon Musk says this as well, being a CEO is like all of the bad problems that you've got, like all of the bad problems in your company, the problems that the people in lower management can't solve bubble up to the CEO. So the CEO has a distillation of like shitty problems, the worst problems, the most like unsolvable problems. And I feel like people have to do it. And there are people in this earth who are much better inclined to do that kind of thing than me. But I feel like there aren't that many people who are willing to go to India and be a monk for 3 years. Whereas for me, like that's realistically on my radar. I'm being deadly serious. And someone has to do either. Like there are people on this earth, some people have to be the monks, some people have to be the businessmen. I see myself going down the monk path. Let me know what you think of this video. Which do you prefer, the monk part, or which way are you leaning? Are you leaning more towards the happiness and, what do I say, truth kind of view? Or maybe just happiness? Maybe we can just say that. Let me know. Or did you want like to make a really huge impact on the world? If you had to choose, if there was a gun to your head and there was like, right, you got to choose your life, bro. Choose your life. Happiness and knowing the truth, being like a monk, or having a massive impact on the world, being like Elon Musk. And now be careful, don't look at things on the outside, really think which life would you rather live, because I bet Elon Musk, although he's got 200 billion, I don't think he really like we all know that when you get to 200 billion, like, you're not going to be fucking stoked about it once you've been there for a while. Don't think about the initial rush of, I'm Elon Musk, I own Tesla and SpaceX and I'm fucking this beast. Like, obviously that would wear off, so be, on the outset, when you think, would you rather be a spiritual monk or Elon Musk? Everyone's going to say Elon Musk. But when you really think about what that really entails, and if you were to imagine yourself like swapping bodies with him and living his actual life, his day-to-day life, the stress, or the monk's day-to-day life, where presumably he's just living the most blissful life. Like, look at my garden. It's raining right now, but I imagine a monk just kind of looks at this garden and just is at peace. Imagine that life. Let me know which one you prefer, bros. I'm really interested to see if anyone comments, but also if people do comment, what do you reckon?